as you guys probably saw. But if you are watching this back on YouTube, you did see 50% of that empty space up above us, at least on the 4 hour, was able to be tapped. Not only that, and as of right now, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all this. We are trying to hang on, and I'm going to show you guys something that I'm watching here by the end of the day to see if we can potentially continue up in what still remains a potentially A++ play if we can get our asses up into the 242s. And there's a shit ton of empty space. It's one of the only ETFs that has that clear setup. But today we were able to, first trade didn't go well, right? A lot of chop, a lot of tension. Watch it on the 5 minute. It finally went past its waves. 1, 2, 1, 2, made a 5 minute box. It finally pushed up and out. And this was the plan, to try to take it up into that 5 minute empty space here. And that is exactly what we tapped off of. So as of right now, and I was able to, and did tell you guys, to scoop some up on the floor. But if you were waiting, it was that punch back basically through that 232.80, a reclaim of the floor at 233.26, which it had trouble with, but it did hold up. And we ended up getting that push into the empty space. So I just literally sat back and tried not to stare at the lower time frames, because that was very whippy. But anyway, it's not my birthday. 24-hour candle close, however, we have not grabbed onto anything, right? The floor is technically at 236. So we're going to be looking at a potential hedge going into today if we don't see any further price action to the upside. That being said, last thing, it does look like on the 5 minute, we are fighting to break over cost basis. We've got empty space underneath us. What I would like to see here before the end of the day is a retest either here at 233.14 or here at 230, or both at 233.40. And that would, if it happened fast enough, allow for us to bounce and continue moving up tomorrow. I'm looking at 236 in the most recent price action. So, all right. Yes, and I believe a whole bunch of other people were involved in making that happen. But all right, so IWM 24-hour time frame. Now let's take a look at the Qs, as they were able to recover a little bit. Well, not a little bit, but decently, but weak as we have approached the floor. Right, barely hanging on. And again, I focused on IWM and not on the Qs was because of all of the volume overhead. It was an easy decision to make, because I don't trade through volume. I don't want that. Now, that being said, this could open up for a pop over 602.61. We're watching as we get to you might be watching as we get to the end of the day, but it would be 608 and over 611 where we have a small pocket, and this would be similar to IWM up to 617. However, due to the bearishness of what's occurring right now and the fact that we did come down and test this floor, if somehow we were able to pull back down, and on the 5 minute, you'll see there are these pockets of explosive price action where Qs could potentially break down. Not a lot of volume underneath us. So I am not trading it. So now I did discuss with you guys today, and this morning we talked about, the 24-hour and what was happening. And I think today's price action, while it was bouncy, was still bearish, because nothing, save for the wicks, was recovered. And if we're looking at this in a longer term, right, not so much on IWM, but on this one, I'm looking at it longer, because one of the things that we've seen in the past, right, is when you build a box or build structure similar to how you've done on the 24-hour here, and then you fall back underneath it, it's those bounces that are supposed to get you up and out, and we've been unable to do it off of this very important mark. And that being said, I think that there is underneath 590.55 a pretty straightforward target of 582. But if you're looking at this long-term bearish, similar to this leg down here, what I did this morning was just basically copy and paste that. As you can see, it was not a straight line, but it does make for a potential decent blueprint of how much price action we could end up losing at the end of the day. So that's something to think about. Long term, longer expiration. And for me, more or less to protect the long-term equity that I have. All right, SPY. Now this one, again, lackluster recovery. Unable to really, it did grab hold of this floor, but unable to grab hold of the floor up above it. If that hopefully can change here by the end of the day, that might allow for price to move up into what was, I mean, it is empty space, and that is over 666.30. But it hasn't been able to do that. So if that's something that you're looking for, this is not a very enthusiastic close. And I would be more interested in this, say maybe overnight price action pops up if it was to go over 673.44 and up into that empty space. So, and that would be up at 681. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Epstein, I'm not really excited about the Epstein files. If you guys don't remember, what was it, last year or September? No, it was like September. That dude, Joseph Smith, DOJ official, said that they were going to release the files, but it would be heavily redacted, which it's going to be. So it's going to be more bureaucracy bullshit, hot dog water, dishonest. I don't care who's on it. Left, right, nuke them all. All right. Now, anyway, back to the charts. Couple of things that I was looking at here today. Disney did not. It's that simple. It didn't. It didn't go down. It didn't go up. It does have a good setup to the upside, right? Potentially for a 109 retest. I don't know how far I would take that one, but it did and has propped itself up, making it more difficult, right, to short this one. Be patient. If you're really looking at shorting it, it's hard to short things after they've already fallen. So if we saw a recovery upon the market tomorrow over 107, you could look to try to take that to 109. So Tesla had a boring ass day sitting inside of its previous candle, but it did open up in range. It did hit the 24-hour candle bottoms. Hit the 24-hour candle bottom, and so for now, you're basically in here. Lower time frame, keep it simple. If you're looking to go long, it's 412. That's, again, I'm not really looking at it anyway. Downside still has a lot of empty space, so I would prefer that. But of course, that's not happening until 398.88 is retested. Or broken, excuse me. Coin. Yeah, so in my opinion, if you were looking at downside, the next trigger is here, right? And you did bounce today, right? So you're sitting basically between the imbalance that you tried to hold here and this bounce. This just tells me that there's more time. Right now, you're sitting on the 4-hour right up against or basically right at your green candle here to your left. So it is possible coin could be a decent play. It actually is a really good setup if it was to climb back up to the upside up to 283. These are easy day trades. And I will say part of the, we don't know if the market's going to continue moving down. I think we're getting close to being able to say that. But even if it isn't, in a bear market, playing the bounces is some of the tastiest shit. You just have to be on point as far as where you get in, where you get out. The empty spaces in front of you gets filled. You don't really play any fucking games beyond that unless you can avoid it. All right. Now, last one, CoreWeave did not take off today either. And what I'm using here, and we'll just show you, yes, it is a range, but on a lower time frame, come here, you little fucker. There's this range right here that it refused to grab hold of. So it's going to be around 78.50 that'll trust this one to get up and out. Set your alerts. Keep it simple. Boom, bada bing. All right. If you have anything you would like for me to take a look at, if you're on TikTok, please tap your screen. And if you are on Discord and TikTok, you guys go ahead and drop your request and we'll take a look at it. So now really quickly before we go any further, just to prep for tomorrow. Yeah, we had unemployment claims today. Tomorrow we have FOMC meeting minutes, whatever. Thursday, average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, unemployment claims coming in 7:30. Damn, they moved the time. It used to be 8:30, right? Or they adjust for daylight saving times, I think. Anyway, that being said, Friday we also have flash manufacturing PMI and flash services PMI. We'll see if that brings in any heat. All right. Yeah. Last one. Netflix. As you might have seen today, showed some serious strength as it moved up into this range, tapped the bottom floor. So it is tomorrow that over 115.75, you could be looking even longer, but it would be basically this first green candle at 117, but there's a shit ton of empty space up here. And after this split and with market cooperation, that is a play that you can keep in mind. And this isn't a terrible setup. You actually pulled back and held yourself up. So we'll see how this one closes for maybe a potential swing here. So, all right. Yeah. If anybody can reshare the stream, that would be tremendous. All right. DKNG up.
Yo, you know the pool was so low on water, the jets were throwing air.
Jesus Christ, bro. How?
Insane.
Just from
The
everybody
heater, bro.
splashing and shit? Oh. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, that shit running at 100, dude.
Yes.
It's hot. It was bath water, dude. All right. It stopped you out 2 times. Well, if you take something before a punchback, then that is a possibility. You also have a clear wall here. I can't even call that a box, but it is a range, and it is what you would have to recover at 30.25. And it's just over 32, right? To reclaim that floor. The punchback is 34.28 on the 25 or 24-hour, 34.42. And that gets you that empty space that you're looking for, which, you know, again, set your alerts. All right. Baba, I did not. I got clapped. Well, I mean, not clapped, but lightly popped. All right, let's see here. Clorox. Jesus. Somebody poured bleach in its mouth. Oh my God, dude. Clorox. Yo, this is one to put on a watch list. Not every, so I'm looking at it, right? Let me highlight some things that pop off the screen immediately, right? Downside right here, floor right there, punchback right here, and you move up and you retest the floor. Nasty, nasty drop down. Pretty fast, nasty reversal back up, and you touch the wicks. Pretty fast or pop up. You grind down, so that one's not nearly as exciting. Does it have earnings? It does, but not very soon. Is there a floor anywhere around here? There was this one. That is pretty much what you're sitting at now. I'd be interesting in it. So let's say I don't have the floor right? How do I get into this? Or maybe I'm unsure because the floor is just not super clear. How do I get into this, right? Going on the 24-hour, we have pretty much nothing but empty space, and it is a little bit rocky, right, in comparison to what we saw on the weekly. On the 4 hour and the 2 hour, that trend continues where we have, and what does that tell me, right? On the weekly, I have empty space, but on the lower time frames from the 2 hour to the 24 or to the 4, I don't. Does anybody know what that correlation might mean? Weekly empty space, but not 24-hour? What does that entail? Instinctually, we should know exactly what that means, right? We don't. Okay. So that means, right, that I am taking a longer expiration. That's it. Why? If the weekly has empty space, that's a weekly setup. If the 24-hour doesn't, then you're already preparing for the structure that you're going to have to trade through anyway. All right. Now, that being said, how does this reverse? Not much here in the hourly. I can see a small, not a box, and then a floor right there. So, as stupid as that floor is, it's still multiple points of contact, or ceiling rather. I'd say 101.12. Empty space, you try to get it up to 102, right? And at least in that day. But obviously that the signal or the sign of that reversal has not occurred quite yet. You're not seeing any extraordinary bounce, so set your alerts and be patient. I'm not falling for that one, Sensei. I know what that is. All right, globe. Is that for real? Oh, okay. It only took about a fucking 2 years for it to get anywhere close to filling up some empty space. I'm already going to tell you right now, this one is not going to make a whole lot of sense to me. I'm looking to my left. It's not anything I would ever trade either, but uh, the majority of the time it's trading like this, which doesn't look like something I really want to trade or tradable. But 24-hour time frame, it looks like you are approaching a high at 37.67. The next target up above you would be the first green candle to your left at 41.68, and then you would have to go and break the candle close at 44. That would give you access to the empty space up above you. A catalyst, for sure, is needed on that one. MSTR had a bounce up today right off of that floor at 192. Punch back through that box. It looks like tomorrow we should be looking at a 219.65 target. Target. All right, I'm going to give you two targets on this one. You decide what you want to do with that information. This is what I could see happening, and I'm going to draw it out for you. It's already refused and filled up empty space up here. If you want to gotta get, you could. This is a weekly box, but if you want to look at it this way, you retested that. You got a flat floor here, and then to my left, I've got a floor here, and I've got a ceiling here. So I could see something like this. Wicking, bounce, hold yourself up 79. At the same time, maybe, which I don't know if this environment's going to really allow that to happen, but maybe, and I can't give you the whole empty space without giving you also the imbalance at 111. uh, let me see, hold on one second. Sorry. Be sure to tap your screens if you're on TikTok. All right, so you said TSLL short. So there is not much. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, Taylor. There is not a lot of empty space down on this one in comparison to its counterpart, Tesla. That being said, if you did take a stop or a short today, the absolute stop loss would have to be 1705. You do not have a break, right? You are pointing down, but you have not lost the 1585 floor. When that's lost, sure, you can go to 1477 and you can go to 14. So I think right now, if you can tolerate that stop loss of $17 flat, sure. But that honestly has everything to do with you and your risk. But it is still waiting to go for that break. So we'll see maybe as we get closer to the end of the day if that looks any better. Celsius looks great. Looks good. But obviously we're still awaiting some sort of news. Almost had a Celsius, but instead I chose Red Bull. I feel like if I drink that shit though, I'm not tired. It gives me just pure anxiety. All right. Interesting. So I mean, it's interesting, but it's also very clear, right? Like here's a couple things that we can look at. A, you are trying to hang on to your floor, but when you reached up into the empty space, you couldn't do it. It is 42.50 and 43.16 or 43.15 that needs to be punched through in order to start making that move back up. However, I will say having two bounces around the same area, right, could allow for the price to move back up to 46.50, where yes, this would make for and could be, upon a market recovery, a great play up to 50 and beyond. That's one to set alerts on. It might be a long time for those alerts go off, but it's you got to set them on there. And again, be patient. If your trigger hasn't fired, don't let it be FOMO that lets you get it, makes you, forces you into a setup. All right. Here comes that pullback that I was talking about earlier. Watch IWM potentially moving down into that empty space. If it loses 223.80 here, we could be looking at a pullback into that 223.17 like I drew out. Just keep your eyes peeled on that one. It's running inside of a tight channel, like so. The imbalance is right there, 233.66. We'll see if it bounces. Got a great structure to potentially continue, but not all the other stocks are agreeing with it. AMC is not the most liquid stock, but it is in the semiconductors and can run, fill up its empty space. Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that. I will say right now it's very interesting. You're using your previous resistance as cost basis inside of the range that you're creating here. Check that out. Right. This is why, eventually this line might become the top of a box later on. This is why, we don't always focus on old data. In this case, you would, but, once you run through that a couple of times, like, that's just showing you that price is going to build around its previous price action, allowing you to focus on the most recent price action and not everything else. But to your point, yes, 32.38, top, 33.83. Yes, you do have empty space. It is clean. It's not triggered yet necessarily, but oh shit. Did you join my liver earlier? I did not climb into your liver earlier. Miss Frizzle was not around, so I couldn't magic school bus into your body. I think you meant to say, did I join your live earlier? And I don't know if I did. Oh, don't think so. Maybe. I might have. My brain is still not functioning at 100%. It was forestry mulching. Oh, I might have. I might have. I like a good mulch video. Good mulchy live. All right. Oh, no shit. Yeah. Rivian had a good bounce today, kind of like we talked about, kind of ran out of steam down, but is still looking at 1550 and 1580 to get back up. Those are triggers to the upside to go fill that gap, which I'd rather it not. I would much rather Rivian dump. Anybody know why I might want to see Rivian dump? I'm sure you guys could probably gather why I would want this thing to pull back first before it continues, moving up. So I can buy more. That is one reason, yes.
You must dip it before you rip it?
That is also true. Right? I want here, let me tell you my idea, right? Both of those, all of those are true and add up to the same idea here. If there's a gap, an inevitability, then I don't want that to happen now, right? When we still have what could be considered to be an inevitability down. And yes, not only do I want more, but I want them to get more. I want them to want more. And with this moving and filling up its empty space, it would allow for us to use what we've left behind as triggers to take it up into that empty space with more momentum. Seeing why IWM not filling empty space, he who did so. Oh, yeah. It will fill the empty space, though, I'm pretty sure tomorrow. Almost certain. It hit the imbalance, though. Costs down, accumulate buyers for stronger move back up. That is very correct, Taylor. What's up, Christian? Let me give that back. I hope you guys had a good day. Hopefully you got some buku money on IWM. That was turned out to the first one not so good, but that one turned out to be pretty good. So 889.50 seems like that's the only target that I can see down below you, as well as 880, but that's what I would be looking at right there. Is there any plays that I'm getting into? I am watching right now. What's up?
Can I ask you something about IWM real quick?
Sure.
I'm look
You're what?
I'm looking at the 1 hour and I see like the yes, we have that little box we made this morning, but it looks like that whole move down and then bounce up is a big box, and then it looks like it's recovering the floor currently. I can send in my chart. But I was just wondering if you see that same thing.
Were you here when I covered it just a minute ago?
No, sir.
Ah, okay. Whenever.
Yes, but I was on a phone call. Sorry, man.
Yeah, no, you're right. Um, is it, did you drop that one already, Alex? But yes, it is a box. If you're talking about what we're building now, yes. What we built earlier and the floor that we can't lose, also yes. Yeah, go check my channel. For the whole breakdown. So, all right. What do we got next here? VIX is spiking. I usually don't care about that, but yeah. Feel like having you as a doctor would make me have a heart attack. VZ. Not bad. So you're up against that same wall. I think you talked about it this morning. It does not look bad to try to go and clear 4150, and it's holding itself up quite well. Looks good.
You know, it is pretty wild though to have the VIX like this high, but contract premium is still actually normal. Surprisingly, let's see what happens if it gets to the 28 range.
Dude, go look at the Qs though. Qs
The
contracts were
premium on
fucking.
them,
They were nasty this morning, bro. They were fucking jacked.
IWMs like were perfect for 40
They are.
bucks.
Dude, it was also the only setup that made sense. The Qs don't
Yeah,
have that empty space. Neither does SPY.
bro. Yeah, stay away from the Q. Oh my god, dude! Tomorrow, holy shit! Why are those 1 DTE so expensive?
Yeah. Yeah. And it has
Damn,
like the
dude.
worst setup ever.
400,
Ay, ay, ay.
Good way to do it. You know what I say to that? Topping. All
Oh
right.
my god, bro.
The pinga.
I told them about your dad giving me meat.
You told on the store. Oh my god.
Yeah, they took it out of context, as they always
Yeah,
do.
that explains that message from Verge. I assumed, but there's always that 50 chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he gave me the best piece of the pork. All right, that sounds worse.
No, 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 no. What you were about to say was actually worse, but you corrected yourself last minute.
Yep. Oh Lord, have mercy. Let's see here. No, that was the best pork I've ever had in my life, for sure. Walmart down? What are you, a psycho? Oh my
Well, you're a
God.
psycho, bro. What are the kids gonna wear, man?
No, dude,
My
the
God, arrest
chart.
that man.
Get him in jail, dude. Oh my God, dude, you might be a masochist. But yeah, I do see the overhead pressure at the same 103.55 mark. You are coming off a rejection. Naturally, you'd be needing something more than that, right? So I'd say 109.30 candle close would be a great start. And if you're looking at it taking it short down to the empty space, that also makes sense. But you got to be careful because Walmart does not fuck around. Okay, shorting Walmart, shit, even longing Walmart is causation for a serious ass whooping. So tread lightly here. All right. What is the strategy called? The Potter box strategy. It dips every earnings. It does like to dip on its earnings, which honestly creates the better buying opportunities. So, well, call me because I'm assured. Oh, Jesus. You're gonna get this chat flagged, dude. Nah, we're already flagged. Jesus, what do they do? What does Fiserv do? Terminating deposit company, financial services, mobile banking. Short-term need, long-term need. That's fine. They were looking to grow in Argentina, and that didn't work. Interesting. Oh, what the fuck? Toothless. Yeah, don't fucking yell at me. What are you doing, dude? My cats are. They all have like CTE or something. I don't know what from. They're playing cat football or something, but Jesus. I came back and I was like, you know what? Cats are fucking chaotic. You're building a box. I don't know what this company's done, but whatever they've done has not been good. Hopefully, hopefully you can build a structure here and that could set you up for a reversal, but Lord have mercy, this thing does not seem to want to reverse quite. I mean, yeah, I even would look at it the first green candle to my left. This is what I would anticipate. If it did bounce and it did move back up, I would look at it here, and then it will probably fuck around like that. And that's what you would want to see, right? Anyway. Yeah, my cats act like fucking Antonio Brown. All right. Chef, it does not, Philo. Meta either direction. Holy crap, dude. It looks like you can't get it. What did that bounce off of? I just be putting random shit some places. I'm dead ass. I don't know what that's from. Let me put a line right there. Cross spaces. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Huh. All right. So you bounced and you can look to your left. And you've got a floor. You've recovered the floor. You've got a range-ish. I was going to say, that's got to be 2 boxes. That's 2 boxes, like, super smushed on top of one another. So it is 607 and really over 613 that I feel the tension would snap and you would see 620, 150, possible 627. All right, dash up. You said Mara's contracts for next week are priced well? I'll hear you out. I'll hear you out. You are up against that 214.70 or 33 that I talked about before. That is literally the only thing standing in front of you. Well, obviously 617 and 220 or 217 and 220 are both mega important levels for this one to get to that empty space. Again, empty space on that market in particular, I think is going to be very important, but great price action right there. I don't hate that at all. Now, here's what I know about Mara. No straight lines. I do really like this one. There could be room to take this one for a swing. I think having a great stop loss on this one is also going to be extremely important. Damn, yeah. So today's play that we talked about this morning definitely played out, but in, I mean, the most awful fashion. So if you decide to speculate on this one, you know, again, look at Bitcoin possibly as a guide. It's not looking great. But that being said, it would be your next trigger is 1230. You have a box directly up above that. And that clearing that box and that gap at 1291 would give you access to that empty space. And that is a good setup. It is a good setup. If you would rather just set an alert and have a more for sure trigger, you can do that as well. Bitcoin is not cooperating. Yeah, it is not. And it does have a, see, 24-hour. Oh, see, that's one thing that I'm seeing across the board, man, is we're retesting, not regrabbing. Not yet. See, retest. With empty space down below, you got to keep your fucking foot on the gas pedal or find somewhere to bounce tomorrow. All right, what do we got? Danny, I'm looking for that right now, man. Definitely thinking about swinging IWM. I already have tomorrow's contracts for that, but thinking about it. Obviously, the market as a whole looking a little bit rough. What's up, Danny? All right, Molina Healthcare. All right, I don't know what the hell this is, but oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about the price action. Look at that. It's not easy, or it's not hard to forget when you're using the same fucking key points here. So if you're looking for a reversal, yes, it can grind up quite well. Expiration matters, and so does following these triggers. Beautiful. Well constructed. Empty space in between the two. The top of this box is that floor. So yeah, follow those steps like some IKEA furniture. 193, 143, excuse me, 150, 150, 960. So Michael Burry said long on MOH. I wonder if that's real. Google up. All right. So more struggle today as you build range. Now, again, you're waiting on market recovery to get this one up and now. It did wick down and it did pull itself back up. Now, what's standing in front of you on the hourly is unfortunately not a box, but it is a range. Oh, you know what? Is that going to be... No, that's not going to be the floor because you attempted to reclaim and you couldn't. And then when you did, you hit cost basis. So it is separate. So it would be naturally over 289. That would give you a target of 290, 250. And sure, maybe. But this one is locked up in range. I mean, you could be looking for more chop. So in a tweet on CNBC I saw today. That's interesting. Not a terrible setup. I mean, the setup is good on it.
They didn't include the part where he's been holding it for 2 years.
Oh, well, there you go. Look at that. That's funny. Yeah, well, now he's been long on it too. Has he, or you just?
No, yeah, I just looked it up.
Oh,
Says
that's
he
fucking.
bought the position late in 2023 and has been managing 125,000 shares in and out since.
Now he's
He just said something else about it recently.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking help his position here.
What are you buying right now?
Man, you guys quit being nosy. Get out of here, little shits. Yeah, that's crazy that you guys know that when I pause like that I'm doing so. That's
I'm new and now I got the signals.
That's crazy, dude. You guys study me like a fucking National Geographic photographer has creeped me out.
No, it's your voice. Your voice. You have such a big difference in the way you talk depending on what you're doing, if that makes any sense.
You should hear. Never mind. Oof. Oh,
God
good job.
damn
I
it,
am.
man.
I am
He's
proud
been
of
focusing on
myself.
your voice.
I didn't even have to say it. That's crazy.
I'd like to study Potter the way blind people study Braille.
Yeah. Wow. You quit with the fucking crow. Oh my god. That'll be the
Sit and
cream
tell
on
us what
my
you got.
cake. Oh no. It's like a heel, everybody.
Are you swinging IWM?
Look, that's one of my main concerns here. Yeah, I'm watching as we get closer to the end of the day here. It's holding itself up really well. And one thing that I expect if it doesn't gap up any further is I would expect, and this is one that you can hedge, but this is one that I am looking for 236. Again, there is with any sort of catalyst, man, the setup up here is ridiculous. But with that being said, if we do open up in range, then I would expect for IWM absolutely to come back down to 233. So you can add a little time, but right now it's doing a really good job of holding up that floor. So, all right. Pretty happy with today's results. I'm not going to lie to you. So I'm being patient here. You got burned today, Christian? What'd you do? Then you made it back. Okay. All right. What else do we have, guys? I get why Tesla hasn't gone up lately. He keeps saying to hit the gas pedal and ain't got no gas pedal. Damn. You might be right. Unless one of those people who puts a generator in the back of your Tesla. But still not a gas pedal. Target earnings. Is that today? Is Target earnings today? After hours? Does anybody have that calendar?
Tomorrow morning pre-market. I was just hedging because you're still holding equity, right?
Yeah, I'm still holding equity on Target. I'm looking at the contracts right now.
Yeah, I just hedged.
It's pricey. 84. Can it break it? 78. 78 and 77s, appropriately priced. That's my worst case scenario. Yo, why are they so pumped on the upside? Jesus Christ. What else? TJX. Damn. Dude, this has just been kind of like silently ripping ass. How does it react to earnings? Not ripping, but it doesn't seem to really do too much. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, you're already at the highs. You have a box underneath you, so perhaps a punch down 141 or maybe new highs at 152, 155. I really can't give you any, I don't really have an edge up here, so. Lowe's has earnings. Man, that one has been dumping hard. It is on weekly empty space. It already had earnings or it has, yeah, it has earnings. Wow, it's already dumped into its earnings. HD reported bad earnings. I want to say yeah, but I mean, let's see here. It doesn't look like we have extremely enthusiastic earnings here. So my gut's telling me no on that one. MU. What's up, dude? That one did end up moving down, didn't it? No shit. It did. It sure did. No fucking way. Yeah. Well, I mean, makes sense. You did bounce off the floor, but you fucking rejected it. See, this is something that I'm keeping in mind looking at tomorrow because you do have more empty space in the most recent price action directly down to that 220.33. So if this one continues moving down, which it still hasn't broken this floor, but yeah, so back over 232.32, you still have empty space up. So that one's read and react as well. You know, patience. Jesus. All right, let's see here. 355. If it doesn't look good, don't take it. Just be patient.
Hey Potter, I didn't catch because I was busy. Did you for Target, were you seeing like at least like 100 and then like 75 or 78-ish?
Dude, I don't know if 100, I mean, 100 is, this is the target I see at 95.68 directly above us. Yes, that 98 serves as a potential target. One of the reasons I'm taking it is because I have equity in it. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm kind of watching it as a hedge, more or less. That being said, as you're kind of hovering below this floor, if this shoots down, I see 79. If this one shoots up, I see, maybe 98, $100. So
Thank you.
it's not like super convincing. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the craziest setup I see right now, but it is interesting kind of sitting at this floor after that rejection. So we'll see. Let's see. Oh yeah, HD did eat shit and die, didn't it? Here comes IWM moving down now before the bell, which is kind of good. 235. $237. All right. Oh my God, Casey. Jesus Christ. Should I swing Netflix or switch sell now? What was your plan? And is there any reason for you to get out? If your plan was to take it to 115, then yeah, get out. If your plan was to fucking, uh, if I tell you what are you fucking, what are we doing right now? Get out of here. Uh, this guy's yeah, is right. All right, last minute here. This is actually perfect. The way it's pulling back, this is exactly what I want to see.
Fill up that empty space
You know what I mean?
and then bouncy, bouncy.
And then you can hedge if you'd like, but I'm gonna stick to my guns here.
Hey Garrett, sorry, what'd you say about Netflix?
No, somebody was just asking if they should get rid of it or sell it. I asked them what was the trade that they planned on taking. Wasn't adding anything to it. If you are looking at it, it's again punch back tomorrow over 115 to take it up further. That's what I'm waiting for. So okay. Yeah, that's what we kind of wanted IWM to fall like this. You still have 15 minutes if you're watching it. I have this level and this one right here. I'll bounce this shit in after hours. If you're looking up, it could be you could look at a 236 or 235 strike. Oh no.
Yeah, SPY just filled up that empty space on the lower time frames.
It's perfect.
Yep, Qs as well.
There we go. Yeah, it looks like most of that is filled up, so we'll see what we get. All right. Now, a lot of other individual equity setups for me have not triggered, so if you're wondering why I don't have like a lot of enthusiastic setups trades that I'm looking at, that's why. But until those fire, which could be soon, saw a lot of resistance today, but that could mean a break tomorrow. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Yeah, I think if I yeah, I should be up a little bit early tomorrow too. So just set your alerts or whatever. But alrighty, I'll see you guys. Peace.
All right, man. Have a good one. See you guys
Yeah, you
tomorrow.
too, guys. Peace out.